Hi everybody, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you guys how to draw a table. In other words, put the table in by using your mouse and dragging it and basically drawing a table. Now I'll tell you, drawing a table is a little tedious, and it's probably not the quickest way to create a table, but we do have the tool, and I will at least show you how you use it in case you ever want to try this yourself. And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to draw this table that we did in the last video. I'm actually going to draw this, and you can kind of see the difference in how we would set all that up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the end of this paragraph here, hit the Enter key, and then I'm going to do that a few times and just get some area kind of opened up there, okay? And then we're going to go back into the Insert tab, go over here to Table, and tell it that we want to draw a table. Now, right when you do that, it doesn't seem like much happens other than the fact that your mouse kind of turns on like a little pencil or pen. And then what we can do is start about right here, hold on the mouse and kind of drag it like that, and let go. All right? So we're going to be using this over here as our guide, but you can imagine kind of maybe like picturing something like this in your head as you're drawing it. So we've pretty much created the outer perimeter here. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to create this here, okay, this first row. So we can just go about right here, drag our mouse like that, and there it goes. Now just so you know, if I go back here to the Design tab up there, you can see that we can actually change our pen color to something else, but eventually we're going to be using the or applying one of the table styles to this, so it's not going to really matter too much what color or thickness, whatever this was. So just a matter of just kind of getting your grid in there, or drawing your grid with your pen here. All right, so then we're going to have our row for the months, kind of do that, and then we'll have our row for the 7 different airports here. So we'll do this one. That'll be number 1, number 2, and I'm just kind of dragging my mouse. 3, 4, number 5, and number 6 and 7. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to have to put in about 15 columns here. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of draw the 15 here. So there's 1. Okay, so we got 2 columns. We have 3. We have 4. Number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15. Now when I look back at our other table here, this was all merged here, and I ended up putting dividers here. Now there's 2 ways to fix this. The first one would be to go back into your Layout tab, go to Eraser here, all right, and then you'll see this little eraser, and what you do is you get that little, kind of like the little blast thing up right in the very bottom of it, kind of click it there, and so forth. I mean, you can do that. Probably be easier just to go back in here and go back into, we'll just hit the eraser again, that'll turn that off, and I can actually just go back in there and just highlight this, right, and then go in there and tell it that I want to merge the cells, and that'll do the same thing. So, but just want to let you know that you do have that tool there, the eraser. All right, so I'm pretty much done drawing the table, all right, and normally if that were the case, this would still be pushed in, this thing are called Draw Table. So when you're done doing this, then all you do is just go back and hit the Draw Table again, and that turns it off. And what I like to do now is apply the table style to this that's pretty much the same as what we have over here. So what I'm going to do then, and I'm going to do that mainly because I just want to get a sense of where things are going to go and so forth. So so I'll click into here, go back into design, all right, hit my little drop down arrow and find something that might look good. So I'm going to go ahead here and just kind of find the one that pretty much kind of gives me the color that I have for the one on the right there. And I can kind of go through here and, you know, find something here, I guess. Maybe I'll just start with this one here for now. Now, what I want to do is I want to have a header row, something like that. And that, you see how that comes to life now. And then I also want to do my, I want to get rid of the columns. I don't want banded columns. But I do want my first column and my last column to have the color. So like you see here. See? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put in my, my labels. So what we have here for you know, Chicago and Tampa and so forth, and have those labels kind of laid out, you know, over in this column right here, all right? But also, even before we do that, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put in these, the major labels here. So what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and I will select this range right here, right? And then we'll go back into the layout here and tell it that we want to merge those cells. And then while I'm there, I'm going to type in major airports, just like that. Now, it's using the font that I have as a default, and that's still going to be the Papyrus there, right? So, and because I'm going to be using Arial pretty much through the whole thing here, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and select everything here, right? Then I'll go back into my Home tab, go ahead and find my Arial, and I think we're using Arial 11. All right, there we go. All right. So then I'll go back to here, go back into my layout, and change that text direction to do something like that. And then I want that to be like dead center. So I'm going to use that one right there and get that to be that way. So there we go. Now up here, I'll click up there and I'll type in traffic. And then major. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll make that perfectly centered, dead center like that. Maybe go back to home, make it just a little bit bigger. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so now we're going to put our airports in here. I'm going to do our ORD. Okay, magic of video. There they are already in there for us. And then we're going to go ahead and put in the months. So we'll start with JAN there. Or actually, we're going to make this caps. So JAN. There we go. Okay, there again, the magic. I type them all in there real fast. Okay, so we got that in there now. So now what we need to do is get our numbers in. All right, so we're going to go ahead and type in the first one, which will be 40. And then with the magic of video, and voila, there we go. So we got all that in there. Now, I need to get these labels turned sideways, so I'm going to go ahead and select that. All right, and then we're going to go up in the layout tab here, and we're going to go to text direction and hit that a couple times there, do that. And then we're going to go ahead too and need to change this one. That's why I forgot to get that one there. So we'll flip that one around. There we go. And I'll go back and reselect this again. And what we need to do, let me just get back there again. Get that selected. And now what we need to do is get this at the bottom. And I think it's already there, so it's at the bottom, kind of like center. So it's the bottom and then it's centered left and right, and that's the one that we picked there. All right, very good. Then I'm going to take the labels and the numbers here, kind of select all that. And what I want to do here is get them all at least centered and left aligned. All right, so I can go ahead and pick this one right here, and that will get them all that way. And then what I'm going to do next is, oh, that doesn't look like it did too good there. I guess maybe because it's just bigger. Okay, so then we're going to take all the numbers here and pretty much just do this to them, and that will get them all kind of centered right within the cell. So that's looking pretty good there so far. Now, the other thing is that I need to get all of the rows to you know, kind of get them a little bit less high here. So this first one here, we can kind of pull that one up a little bit. There we go, just like that. And then we're going to take all of this here, and we're going to distribute the rows. So we're going to keep the height, but get it so where they all fit within that height. So what we'll do is we'll go back into layout, we'll click on the distribute rows, and see it does that for us. And we can click away from it and take a look at what we have here. Now, if I want to kind of get all of these rows to have a little bit less height than what they have right now, what I can do is select this range like that, all right? And then over here, you'll see, this is in the layout, you'll see the cell size, and this is the height. And right now it's at, you know, about 3/10 of an inch. So I'm going to bring that down just a little bit. All right, so we got this one because of the merged situation here, but it did do it, but it also kind of messed this up here. So what we need to do is maybe bring this now, make this just a little bit. I guess what we'll do is we'll make this area just a little bit taller. There we go, like that. And then, once we've done that, then we can go ahead and select all that and tell it that we want to distribute the rows. And there we go. That might look a little too tight here. Let me just kind of bring this down just a little bit more, about like that. And then I'll go back in there again and just highlight the rows, right? And then we'll go back into layout, and then we'll distribute the rows. There we go. Okay, I think we did it. So the last thing that we have is maybe putting that thicker, more colorful border around it, so we can actually go back into the table like that, go back to our design, and go here and find a thickness that we want. So maybe about like that. All right, and we'll go here and we'll find a pen color. We won't go with red, we'll go with something else. I think I'll go with the orange here. So I'll click onto that, and now what we'll do is we'll kind of go about right here, hold on the mouse and kind of drag it. There we go. That doesn't look like much, does it? Here, we'll bring that up a little bit, bring it up to about 3. All right, so go ahead and drag that again. There we go. We'll go ahead and we'll do that one there. And we'll do this one here. And we'll go across with that one. All right, then we can just go ahead and hit the escape key. That'll take it out of there. And there we go. Then we'll go ahead and we'll bring the text back up here. So I'll go ahead and hit delete a few times. Kind of pull that up. Oop, there we go. And of course, we want to just add space before this paragraph. So we'll just go back into the Home tab, and we'll hit our little button there, and we'll put maybe before, maybe make that 12. Hit OK, and there we go. All right, so I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.